Good day. Hi, it's Friday the 12th of September. And this is our weekly wrap. I'm wearing Duvenage from OUTA. Let me just, I'm on my way this morning to a couple of interesting meetings. And one of them is about upgrading our whistleblower platform. Whistleblowers, as you know, are very important to us, to this country, and how they get information to us so that we can do our work in tackling maladministration and corruption is just so important. And the more we can make that easier, more confidential, more safe, the better it is. So we'll fill you in on that new development as it takes place. We have a good system at the moment, but we want to improve on that. The big thing that happened this week for us, quite interesting, is the issue of e-tolls. Yes, e-tolls is over. You and I and everybody has no fear, no worry about having to pay for that deceitful scheme. It was extremely deceitful, but that's history now. But it hasn't fully gone away, and I'll tell you why. This is because we've got over 2,000 citizens, businesses that we have defended on this e-toll matter. If you recall, between 2016 and 2019, Sanral was issuing thousands of summonses to the public for non-payment. It was their last resort to try and coerce people to pay, or their coercion tactics prior to that had failed. They were threatening with, credit rating downgrades and no ability to relicense your vehicle or your driver's license and so forth. And we put pay to all those arguments, and their last resort was to start a litigious lawfare strategy against society, summoning thousands of people for non-payment. And we defended that. People gave us the mandate, we put a team together, and we worked hard for many years to fight that battle against Sanral. It got so big that the courts were not going to be welcome this inundation of thousands and thousands of summonses against people with e-toll bills. So we were preparing for a test case, and it was still so out of line. And the reality of this system, this evil system, eventually dawned on them. I think more the president or somebody in higher places that gave Sanral the instruction to stop this litigious warfare strategy it had with its public, with the citizens of this country. And that was in March 2019, and Sanral were instructed, or made the decision, they say, willingly. We believe it wasn't willingly, but they made a decision to halt the scheme. They stopped issuing summonses in March 2019. The problem is they left these thousands of summonses hanging in the air. Now, you don't summons people and then just ignore it. These cases are still open in court, and they either have to be closed down, they have to be withdrawn, and the person who issued the summons has to tender costs. If I go and sue you for something and you prepare to defend yourself in court, there's a lot of work that goes into your defense, and then I just disappear after filing papers and just ignore it. You can't just leave these cases in limbo. They have to be formally withdrawn. And Sanral hasn't done that. And we've written to Sanral a number of times. We've engaged with them to say, what are you doing about these cases? Because they need to be withdrawn. This is the formality. It's a requirement. And they've done nothing. They've not responded to us. The one response we got from the executives at Sanral was that, no, this is not their decision, which quite frankly it is. It is a decision that has to have the concurrence of the minister. So we said, well, get the concurrence of the minister. And they've done nothing. So it's very unfortunate, but we've now had to go and open a case against Sanral and cite the minister and others to have this matter finalized. Now we have to go to court to compel the authorities to do what they're supposed to do. And after filing the papers, I messaged the minister, messaged the CEO of Sanral to say, look, Unfortunately, because of this lack of need to deal with this stuff, we've had to go the legal route again. Sadly, we shouldn't have to do this, but we are. But the door is still open. If you want to sit down with us and resolve this, please give us a shout. We're happy to do so. Otherwise, we're going to have no option but to proceed with this case in court. And what did we get? Silence. So they have indicated they're going to defend this decision. They're going to defend our case, our challenge. I mean, this is just waste of taxpayers' money again. So fight on we will. And this time, I think we must ask the judge to bring personal costs against these individuals who are just wasting taxpayers' money. It is so sad that we have this continued arrogance, this continued lack of realization of their responsibilities to society. Anyway, we'll watch that play out and we'll keep you up to speed with that. That was the main thing that happened this week. And I just want to end with this thought. We are so motivated and moved at OUTA by the work we do because we understand its impact. I get asked often, this must be soul-destroying work. Well, we wished we didn't have to do it, let me assure you that. But fighting corruption and maladministration and the abuse of power of taxpayers' money is necessary where it happens, in countries where it happens. And in this country, there is no shortage of that. There's no shortage of work for this organization of ours. And as I said, I wished we didn't have to do it. I wish we had jobs that were constructive in other ways. So this is our purpose. And I was listening to a podcast this morning, where one of the comments was, very beautiful comment, that the opposite of depression is not happiness, it is purpose. And it resonated so much, and it is so real. And the message that I want to share with you, we all have purposes. We don't have one purpose in life, and if we do have one, that's fine. It's a purpose. Many have many purposes. We are business people. Our purpose is to ensure that the responsibility to the organization, its success, its growth, its people. We have purpose for family. We have purpose for so many different things. And one of the things that I want to just impress upon us as citizens of this amazing country is that somewhere in our quiver of purposes that we build in, especially in the business world, we build in purpose to defend our democracy against corruption, against gross abuse of power. If I can just ask everyone to just find a way to bring that purpose in some way into how you deal with corruption and waste of taxpayers' money and abuse of power, whatever it is you do, because if everybody started to introduce some of their energy and activity into dealing with and tackling this corruption, we will get to the end line of this game a lot quicker. We have a lot of work to do as a country in this space. We know it, we see it every day. And I think as a nation, we're becoming numb to it. We're becoming accepting of these high levels of corruption, which we shouldn't. Because less than 1/10 of the extent of corruption here is the type of stuff that gets people removed from government in other countries, but not here. And I think, sadly, we're starting to accept this as our norm. We cannot accept this as our norm. We must fight hard to end corruption. So please, somewhere along the line, bring a bit of purpose in this fight into your activities, into your businesses, and we will save this country from this absolute rot and cancer. Have a great weekend, folks. Chat with you next week.